demonstrating the comb twist technique. You want to begin by making sure your model's hair is clean, and once it's clean, if it's clean and dry, then you're going to need a spray bottle with just water to wet the hair. And if it was already washed, then you wouldn't have to spray it if it was still wet. I'm going to be using a gel, an aloe vera water-based gel, which is very light. It leaves no residue on the hair, and it dries without flakes. I'm going to be applying this hair to each section, applying the gel to each section as I go along. And I'm using a very small tooth comb. It could be a rat tail comb, or it could be a barbering comb, which is tapered at the end. This particular comb is designed for the comb twist technique, and it has the round handle, so it's easy to roll it. I'm going to begin by getting as much of the model's hair into the comb as possible, and you part the hair. Some people prefer the box parts, and some people prefer the beehive parts, which are semicircular parts. You then get the comb, apply it at the root of the hair, and coil the hair all through from the root to the tip of the strand. If your model prefers the puffy at the scalp look, where you don't see a lot of scalp, then you don't need silver clamps. If your model prefers her twist or their twist to be very tight at the scalp point, then you would get the silver clamps and apply them at the root. This method is also referred to as the single strand twist. As I mentioned earlier, the silver clamps can be used on the comb twist for models or clients who prefer to have that tighter look, the tighter finish. And if this was a model who is locking their hair and they came in for a retwist, you would simply finger twist it using your fingers to twist the root and put a clamp along the way to stretch them out and to keep them in that cylindrical shape. Make sure that where the tail of your comb is hanging is where the coil would fall, because you're twisting in that direction. If you wanted it to fall more towards the back, then you would adjust your elbow and where the tail of the comb is. Upon completion of oiling the model's scalp, apply some oil into your palms. Once again, rub them across the tops of the twists. This ensures for a nice natural shine. And it helps keep their hair from getting dry and looking dull. To maintain this hairstyle, it would need to be tied up at night before bedtime with a silk or satin scarf. And for someone who is locking their hair, they will have a return visit within a week to 2 weeks, depending on the texture of their hair and how it holds up. And on their return visit, they will just be getting their new growth retwisted and tightened. For someone who is just wearing this hairstyle as a style, we recommend that they wash it out in a week to 2 weeks or 3 weeks, depending on how long it holds up, so that their hair doesn't begin to lock. If your model or client has thin little ragged ends, which are puffy and wouldn't really stay twisted, you could trim that off using a pair of scissors. Our model does not require a lot of trimming, but should you see thin little ends, you can snip those. And this completes the comb.